Also, as a side note, it is known that men who have androgenetic alopecia have a higher density of 5-alpha reductase around the hair follicles than men who don't have androgenetic alopecia. It would even stand to reason that the more severe one's androgenetic alopecia is, the higher the 5-alpha reductase enzyme concentration and possibly androgen receptor sensitivity. For a quick summary understanding, the article titled, quote, "The Hormonal Background of Hair Loss in Non-Scarring Alopecias," unquote, by Barbara Oweka et al., discusses this when referring to androgenetic alopecia. They explore the literature to state that men and even women who have androgenetic alopecia have upregulated DHT levels in their hair follicles. At least in the case of high 5-alpha reductase concentration, I could see the argument of dutasteride being more effective for such men. A greater density of 5-alpha reductase enzymes in a tissue would mean a higher affinity for that tissue to dutasteride. Dutasteride works by inhibiting the 5-alpha reductase enzymes, which convert testosterone to dihydrotestosterone, DHT. If a tissue has a higher density of these enzymes, more binding sites are available for dutasteride to attach to, leading to a more pronounced effect in reducing DHT levels in that tissue. This is particularly relevant in tissues like the prostate, where both types of 5-alpha reductase, type 1 and type 2, are overexpressed, making it highly responsive to dutasteride treatment. So people with higher 5-AR concentrations around the hair follicle might have worse androgenetic alopecia occurring earlier in life. Also something to add on. According to the paper titled, quote, "Use of 5-alpha reductase inhibitors in dermatology, a narrative review," unquote, by Mariana Escamilla Cruz et al., dutasteride provides roughly 3-fold higher inhibition of type 2,5-alpha reductase compared to finasteride and 100 times stronger inhibition for the type 1,5-alpha reductase enzyme. Dutasteride also has a very slow dissociation to 5-alpha reductase enzymes, according to the Avodart Dutasteride FDA paper, where it directly states this. This high affinity for 5-alpha reductase enzymes, along with a slow dissociation, makes dutasteride very good at preventing the conversion of testosterone to DHT. Therefore, in my opinion, dutasteride would be more effective. Now, there's a question of whether a 2.5 milligram dose of dutasteride is more effective compared to a 0.5 milligram daily dose. The Olson et al. Study shows that the 2.5 milligram dutasteride treatment group had a superior hair count compared to those in the finasteride and various dutasteride treatment groups. One argument is that the reason for this could be that a 2.5 milligram dose per day of dutasteride reaches steady state concentration much sooner than the typical 0.5 milligram daily dose. Thus, it could be the case that the reductions in scalp DHT occurred sooner, allowing the hairs to shed and go through a better regrowth cycle. In other words, perhaps with a long enough treatment period, scalp DHT levels may be equivalent between 0.5 milligram and 2.5 milligram dutasteride users, with the decrease occurring sooner in 2.5 milligram dutasteride users, leading to earlier positive changes in hair counts. The Olson et al. Study only lasted for 24 weeks, so we really can't say for sure. However, at the 12-week and 24-week marks in the study, the changes in scalp DHT were significant, suggesting that 2.5 milligrams of dutasteride may at least push you through the shedding phase quicker. At most, we could conclude that the differences in scalp DHT between the dutasteride treatment groups are due to its load and presence in the tissue. This means that for the average user, it would be harder to achieve an 80% decrease in scalp DHT with a 0.5 milligram per day dose of dutasteride than with a 2.5 milligram per day dose.